The OSU Policy Analysis Laboratory, or OPAL, is the place where we drop graduate students into the real world. We put them on the spot, but we do that in a good way. We give them an opportunity to be mentored by faculty, drawn from across disciplines and across the research capacity of OSU, which is tremendous and covers practically any subject you can mention. And within that, they have the opportunity to work on real-world projects, which are either brought in by outside clients or developed more internally. They then have to grapple with the challenge of defining the problem, understanding the policy context, framing it up and figuring out exactly how they're going to approach it, and then beginning the process of asking the really difficult questions that you have to ask to understand the integrated social, economic, and ecological pieces in a policy context in order to then develop recommendations that would go to policymakers. One example of an OPAL project is the Forest's People Fire study in Central Oregon, funded by the National Science Foundation. Students researched fire ecology issues and social change, then designed and conducted policy workshops in the study area. Tom Spees is the project leader.
We throw them into challenging environments and we expect to see performance, and they like that. It's really a cutting-edge study because we're really trying to bring social scientists and ecologists together in a real integrated way. In this case, we're trying to develop ways of thinking more broadly so we can perhaps recognize some of these unintended consequences or surprises.
Another opportunity for OPAL students was the Social Business Challenge. 2 student teams each designed a solution to a community-based problem, assessing the social, economic, and ecological contexts and identifying where policy intervention could make critical changes.
The first thing that we did that we thought was really important was to go and meet with leaders and citizens to find out what needs they wanted addressed, the most dire needs, the things that were most important to the community. And once we sort of assessed that, then we were able to address it in a dynamic way.
It gives us as students an opportunity to take what we learn in the classroom, which tends to be very theory-driven, very academic, and apply it in a real policy environment. We get to go out and meet with people, learn what their problems are, and try to help them with policy solutions that address the problems that have been identified by folks who are having the problem. That's a really great opportunity that we don't get very often.
Bridget Burns coordinated the Social Business Challenge and is a graduate of the OSU Public Policy program. She now works regularly with the Oregon legislature.
So the reason behind the Social Business Challenge was, let's find an innovative way to communicate effectively that our students leave our institutions passionate about changing the world and they feel a call to service. I think it's one thing to work on a policy idea and it be theoretical and to learn just the basics, learn the essential skills. But I think that if it's something that's real world and has applicable value, it really just multiplies the effect.
Really good experience learning about all the different avenues by which you can affect change and that there isn't just one standard way to do things.
I really want students to understand is they're building a set of skills and capacities around policy analysis that can be applied in just about any setting. We are actually practicing the discipline that we are learning. And then you start thinking about how do you frame problems in policy, and all of a sudden it starts to click, and all of a sudden it starts to make a little bit of sense.
The kinds of policy problems that are developing in the world now are so complex, or wicked as we call them, that studying any one part of them, while that's helpful on its own, doing that without integration is not nearly as applicable to the real world and the kinds of policies that we need to be developing to adapt to that. While students in the program get the training in all of those individual disciplines, we hope that always in OPAL we'll be able to show them how bringing in all those methodologies and cross-combining them and working even across disciplines with other students who don't have any policy training is going to really help them answer questions in ways that are more incisive, more innovative, and maybe leverage policy opportunities that wouldn't have been obvious if we'd just done some of the traditional policy analysis.